even especially like with online classes, for them to just copy from the book, paste it, and then not even put like quotation marks or anything like that until you catch it on turn it in. Whereas before, you know, we had this technology, you had to actually read it, handwrite everything.
Yeah.
If I said in a paragraph, according to Jody Huff in her 1999 book, How to Use APA Format, do I still need to cite it?
You have, when you said
That,
according
I
to,
don't
because.
need other citing at the end of that.
No, because you did at the beginning, and you had the author, and you had the year right at the beginning of your sentence. So that's the one way to do it, or the other way would be to put it at the end. So it's not necessary to do both, but that's a good question. When Mauricio asked me to do this workshop, first of all, I said, oh, I'm not really qualified to do this. I mean, I feel like there's so many of y'all here who are a lot better at it than I am. I'm just kind of sharing with you some of the things that I do in my class. But I found a YouTube video that I do want to share with y'all, which it simplifies things, but it talks about using a template, which I am going to give all of y'all an electronic copy of this if you want the template, and it shows you how to go through and change the template. You can, I participated in some of the online library workshops that Brian has been talking about over the last couple of months, and I want to give a big plug for those because they have been awesome. But one of them that I saw was all about how to format a paper into APA formatting. When you have a template, you don't have to do that. It's already done for you. So let's not reinvent the wheel. But anyway, I do want to show y'all this YouTube video, and I hope you like it. It's only like 5 minutes. And let's hope that I can get this thing to work.
Need more volume.
We'll also learn how to coordinate those in-text citations with a list of references at the end of our paper. Okay, let's get started.
This APA template is something that you can save on your computer and use throughout your career. Because it is a template, all that you have to do is fill in the blanks. For example, in putting in your title, simply highlight the title that is there and type in your real title. Same thing for your name. Highlight the fake one and put in the real one. For your header, go up to the gray area where the type is gray, double left click, it opens up the header area, highlight the fake title, and put in your real title. Double click anywhere in the paper, and you're set to go. Let's go to the abstract page. The abstract title is not boldface. Be sure that there are not the words running head for your header up in the header area, just the shortened title in all caps. The abstract itself is 75 to 150 words, and all an abstract is a summary of your paper. Be sure not to use I in your abstract.
On the first body page, you simply repeat that title again, and boom, there comes your introductory paragraph. Let's read it. Has your 13-year-old had a beer lately? Are you sure? If asked, most parents would say their 13-year-old child had never even tried alcohol. Typically, good transition, parents tend to think teens drink like mom and dad with a beer or two after work or a glass of wine with dinner. But the truth is, when teens drink, they drink to get drunk. Thesis. The bottom line is that today's parents are failing to understand the epidemic of teen drinking and its serious side effects. So there's your perfect introduction. It begins with an open funnel and a strategy to get attention, and then gradually funnels down to that thesis statement. Then comes the next title, the title of this next section, the sobering facts. Here comes the topic sentence. The use and abuse of alcohol by teens is on the rise, as well as the problems associated with this abuse. What can you expect to see in the rest of that paragraph? The numbers that support the rising use and abuse of alcohol by teens. Let's read it. Teens and young adults physically dependent on alcohol number in the millions. According to one source, great signal phrase there, teen alcoholism is the, quote, third leading cause of teen deaths in the United States, and then there's the in-text citation, Tor, 2000. Notice that was a signal phrase, and notice that the quote was followed by an in-text citation. Let's continue reading. No surprise, alcohol isn't easily available to teens. They can get it from brothers, sisters, friends, stores, and even their parents. Here's a fact. 61% would rather have beer but will drink wine and wine coolers. That was not a quote, but it was still information taken from the source, so it has to be in there. Tor, that in-text citation, Tor 2000. And now, back to Susan's language and Susan's thoughts. Parents sometimes believe that if teens are going to drink, the parent is better off letting them drink at home with an adult around to supervise. The only problem is that teens believe they can drink other places too, since the parent allows them to drink at home. So that was Susan's conclusion. That was Susan's idea that she got from all her reading and her research and her thinking and her experience, so she didn't need to cite it. Let's skip on now to the second section of her paper called Out on a Binge. And now here's the topic sentence of this section. Binge drinking results in most of the same serious health effects described above, but also leads to more death more quickly. So she's making the difference there. Now we got to see more death and we got to see more quickly. Let's see if she does it. One study found that at some college campuses, almost 70% of the students participated in binge drinking, Jordan 2002. That information came from one source, so it's got to have that citation in it. Binge drinking can cause alcohol poisoning, which can kill you in one of the following ways. She lists them, and then she cites them. So that's how she continues throughout the paper. Each section has its own title, and each section has its own topic sentence that has been developed in that title. Anytime she uses information from a specific source, she provides an in-text citation, and then all those citations refer to the last page in your paper, which is the reference page. Each one of those, like that Engeldorf, goes back to Engeldorf here on this page. Also notice that Engeldorf is cited multiple times, not just at the end of the paragraph. We can also follow through with Jordan here on the reference page, and we can go back and find all the different places where Jordan appears in this paper. And that's how in-text citations are coordinated with reference citations that go on a list and a page at the end of your paper.
Okay. Max, can you get the lights, please? I thought that what I really liked about this short video is because it really gave a good simplified version of the structure that you're looking for in your paper. Now, I don't have my students use the subheadings, you know, the type. I can't think of the word right now, but anyway, within the paper, the little subheadings, I don't have them do that for my particular paper, but it just, my papers don't lend themselves to that, but of course it is on the template. But I particularly like how they talked about topic sentences. I liked how in the introduction they talked about the lead-in and the use of transitions and the placement of the thesis statement. So all of those things we do go over in our comp classes, but I'm sure that that's, at least I'm hoping that that's what you're looking for in the papers that you have your students do. Now, I know we are just about out of time. There's one last thing I did want to show y'all, and that is, in case you weren't familiar with this references tab, I'm in Word right now. Now, if you look on the APA tips that I have for you, about 2/3 of the way down, talks about how to use that, that reference tab. But you just go up to the top, and the very first thing I always do is have my students put in their sources, which goes to manage sources and new. And like I said, this is all explained in the handout for you. And then from this drop-down menu, then you decide what type of article you have, and you can see there is a place for an interview. So if I were doing an interview, I would, you just fill in the information that they ask. Now the big thing is, if you submit this information on here incorrectly, it is going to spit it out incorrectly. So this is the most important thing you do as far as trying to get your source information in there. Because like I've had students that when they went to do, let's just go to a journal article. No, I don't want to do that one. I have a lot that do websites. Okay. One of the things I do tell them is that one thing that is definitely required is if they don't have a year, you have any date at all, they have to put in N period, D period. Okay. Now, I also tell them if they don't have an author, don't worry about it, because your citations will come up with the title of the article, which is the name of the webpage. But it never fails. Every once in a while, I'll have somebody put N period, A period, no author. You never know the thinking sometimes. But, so, once again, if you don't enter the information correctly, then that can be a problem. But I walk students through that, and that's where I'm going around the room and double checking. And when I have time, I really try to sit down one-on-one with them and go, well, let's look at your list of sources and make sure you have the information right. Let's do one together, and then you can do your others based on the one that I went over with you. Then after you've done that, the nice part about it is that when you want to insert, oops, let's close. When you're ready to insert your citation, a list of all the sources that you have entered are here, and all you have to do is click on the one that you used, and it puts it in there for you. And then when you are ready to do your bibliography, you go to bibliography, insert bibliography, and I say that, and everything that you have put in there will come out on your reference page.
But you do have to make sure that the style has the...
Yes, there, for some reason, I have no idea why, I was wondering debating on whether to mention this, when you send this out, when you submit in your reference page, when you insert your bibliography, for some reason it comes out on Arial or some other format other than Times New Roman. So one thing you have to do is highlight that, change it up at the top to Times New Roman, and it's also not double spaced, and that's an easy fix to do too. And it might not it might be in alphabetical order, but it might not. So.
What if you have a quote though? How do you insert like the page or the page?